Okay, so a couple more updates from the last update. The nut is about ready to go. Start shaping it down to final dimensions. It's almost down to 1/8 of an inch thick. I need to work that a little further. I marked it from the original. A couple pencil marks I'm going to cut off and get it cut almost to length. I'll work it to final length probably once it's actually glued in. I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to go through, but I'm going to only rough it for now. Get the width figured, get the length figured. I still have to radius the bottom a little bit, so I put the original nut over top and I put a little pencil mark. What I'll do after I cut the two ends off, I'll just do that to rough with a hacksaw quick, gently. Then I'll take a Dremel to it and I'll start roughing in the radius. But to make the radius pretty close to perfect, what I did was masking tape right here on the fretboard, and then again two-sided tape. I've been using that a lot. I just used it up actually, and I put the what is that? 220 grit? No. 120 grit. It's pretty rough. I put the 120 grit on. I'll use that then, and I'll work this back and forth, and I'll put the radius into the nut. I'll hit it with the 120. It doesn't have to be super smooth, the 120, and then I'll probably hit it with some 220. I'm not looking to polish it, because I will put a couple of drops of glue, and I want the glue to bite in a little. So I'm not trying to polish the bottom, but I'll rough it in that way. Then I'll set it in, I'll start my layout. Second thing for right now, I put the Tex Mex Pickups in the pick guard. I use the original black covers because I want to keep the same color scheme. I'm not looking to change all that up, but I have them in there. Twisted the wires, little masking tape, twisted, little masking tape, and that'll be ready to go. I took out the old controls because I want to clean that up a little bit. The switch, the soldering is a mess, so I was bending the tab on the switch. I'm going to put a new switch in. I think the pots are salvageable. I think I cooked the capacitor though, trying to desolder it. So I'm gonna trash the capacitor. I found a 15 nanofarad. It's a 0.015 microfarad. I think this would be a really good capacitor for this guitar. I didn't want to go with a bigger capacitor. I wanted to go smaller capacitor. So I think it's gonna be a really good fit. I like a smaller capacitor anyway. I don't see the point of a big capacitor on a guitar unless, I don't know, maybe for some things. But then some other electronic stuff came up. So here's the thing, I'm measuring the pickups. I checked the resistance. The bridge is right where I wanted it. That's 7.4 kilo ohms. That sounds like a really good, that's gonna be nice. I have some other stuff to do with that. The middle was like 6.5, mid sixes. I forget exactly. 6.5, 6.7, right in where I thought it should be. The neck pickup is hotter than I thought. The neck pickup that I thought would be like 6.2, 6.3 is like 6.9 kilo ohms. So that's another reason I want to go with a smaller capacitor. I don't want that neck pickup coming across really dark. I still want to keep some chime in there, so a smaller capacitor will help. The other thing I did was I checked the resistance on the pots that I'm trying to salvage. They are all low, and low value pots will rob treble. And when I say low, one of the pots was like, it's supposed to be 250. It's marked 250. It measured in like 207 or something like that. The best one was 230, which I still think is, that's like 10% tolerance. So this is a line I swore I wasn't going to cross, but I'm actually going to take the pots apart. I started one, but I'm going to do I'll do a video about this also. So what happens is you take the pot body, you pull the tabs back, and you can actually then take the whole thing apart. This is bad. The twisty part comes out. This is actually what makes the pot have variable resistance. There's a track in there that the contacts ride on. And then there's the little piece that, the place is a mess right now, and a little piece that goes back on afterwards, and that takes the things and clamps it back together. Long story short, you can change and make the pot a higher value by scraping very carefully some of this off. And like I said before, if you're dealing with a vintage instrument, don't do this stuff. But if you're trying to replicate a certain pot value, you can take something and the tolerance is off, and you can do some stuff like this and maybe bring that resistance up a little bit. So if you are trying to restore something and your pots are measuring 220 and you want 250, you can make them get there. It's a little tedious. I wasn't going to do it, but I thought, hey, what the heck? It's another cool thing to do. My goal is I want to go a little higher than 250 because that neck pickup is a little overwound for what I was expecting. I'm going to put a little higher resistance in. That's going to make the guitar hold on to more treble. A whole bunch of science behind why it does all that, and why different pots match different guitars better or worse. So I'm aiming for like 250 plus, somewhere in the 270 to 290 ballpark. I got to go for now. That's where the project's at, though. Take care.